introductions, who we are, what we're casting, and all that good stuff?
It'll be a pleasure, Rifkin.
Great, excellent, fantabulous, superior, awesome, superb, excellent.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Acer Teamstory Cup Season 2 action, brought to you by Base Rate TV. I'm Doom Esports. With me is Riff_Kings with a Z, and is currently 3-2 for compLexity in this series against Team Liquid, and spawning for compLexity in the lower left-hand corner of the map, the blue Terran player. We'll have to see what his plan is here to bring his team one step closer to victory. None other than QXC.
And his opponent coming out as a bit of a ringer here, knocking out the SEC and starting this path to glory and victory. It is the red Zerg player, Liquid's Reds. Now, I mentioned this before the game, and I want to bring it up once again. The QXC, okay, he's kind of known for his 2-raxing. He does that a lot in a lot of tournaments against a lot of players, but I don't think we'll see it on Whirlwind, which is a little unfortunate for the choice of sending QXC out, considering that's kind of his forte. However, I mentioned this before, QXC is almost something that I would like to refer to as a specialist. He's a very intelligent guy. If you've watched his videos, he's made a lot of the, he had a lot of videos that were describing how to improve StarCraft, how to balance the game better, and we saw a lot of those effects go through. And more importantly, he puts out a lot of teaching videos to talk about builds and how things work. And because of all of these various, I guess, accomplishments, if you want to call them that, he's kind of renowned, or not renowned, but known as an intelligent guy. Because of this, if he's been watching Rhett, chances are he's been paying attention to one of the streams, or at least asking his, I guess, teammates for replays or something. He's been able to say, look, in these past 3 games, Rhett's done this, and Rhett's done that, blah, blah, blah. And I would not be surprised if he came in today with a strategy specifically designed to take out Reds.
Yeah, and I think it's safe to say QXC is a smart guy. He studies like quantum mechanics in college, so he's pretty intelligent to that degree. But we're seeing some relatively standard things happening here on Whirlwind, one of the bigger maps in the map pool. We just saw Frost before, and a relatively large map itself, but. And both these players can be diving into the macro facets of the game. So curious if QXC and STC practice together a lot. Another three-letter name player, I should say as well. So
yeah, we got COL, QXC, STC.
Gosh, the acronyms. What does it all stand for, Rifkin?
I don't know. Maybe if we just take all their names and spread them out, it'll just be like esports money or something.
One could only hope.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of like this crazy scenario, like National Treasure. You could be Nicolas Cage. These are like the first clues that lead us towards like I can't even.
I'll be Nicolas Cage.
I hate it.
Salary too.
Dude, he's in everything. That guy's gotta have a lot of money, but all right. Red scouting around the map. Sees his opponent's not in the upper right. Not seeing out a drone scout or anything like that. So really, definitely not looking to apply too much of the really early pressure.
Well, he knows, of course, that he's going to spot QXC with this Overlord to the lower left. He can just feel it. No refinery just yet. Tiptoeing forward with that Overlord just to see it. There goes. Big reveal. Doesn't want to show his Overlord to QXC, though. Reveal his position.
The last time I was on Whirlwind, Baby Knight had this really terrible miscout. And I'm talking like, we cast this like 2 days ago. He had this really terrible miscout. Like, MC levels of miscouting. Finds the wrong base and loses the game entirely because of it.
It's great that MC actually won that game when that happened, but that's MC.
I still sit here though, it's just like Whirlwind is this devilish map now in my eyes. Like that's too many times in a short times period where one player can be involved in a game with that much misscouting.
This is a pretty old map, don't you think?
It's one of the longest standing maps currently still in the map pool, yeah. Like, we saw Ohana finally cycled out Daybreak. Belshire, I feel, is even coming towards the end of its life. Some of the newer maps were taken out quite quickly, like Neoplanet S and all, Red City and all that good stuff. I don't know, Whirlwind, I think the reason it's going to stay around for a little bit while is just, it's a nice 4-player map. There's not a lot of 4-player maps that have been balanced. I mean, let's harken back to, like, some of the really bad ones, but Engineering Bay block, a little bit of a cool move coming out of QXC, loses the SCV, but does prevent the drone from making hatchery for quite a bit of time, actually.
And back at home, you're seeing QXC doing something super cool. It's going to be Hellion Banshee build, but Rhett has scouted out with his persistent Overlord. This is one of the tough things about going for this build, is that the Zerg player can see it coming relatively easily because you're not going to have a large marine count, and you're going to be focused on, protecting the front of your base with that, or the front of your ramp with that bunker. But I do like that that QXC's doing this with the command center down. If you do it off one base, it's way more riskier. This, at least you can transition out of eventually. He's not going for cloak because it's not going to be the biggest command in the world.
I just want to point out, if that engineering bay had like maybe 20 more health on it, he would have got here with the Hellions in time to deny this base from going down. He would have fried that drone alive. So a little unfortunate, the timing of that.
As is, I do think that that third base still will be a point of contention here for QXC. He's going to try to move into the natural very quickly here, though, Rifkin.
Oh, but Rhett is pretty good at dealing with Hellions. We saw it earlier today. We're going to probably see it again. Look at that spreading. Look at that running. And, of course, Lings on the ramp are going to do what they can. Hellions getting quite a few kills here, though. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, really good moves from both players, though. Despite losing a lot of units, he has kept the Hellions out of the main base, so they're not going to be as big a threat as they would have potentially. But 2 more Hellions are going to join the fray. Got another Banshee moving across the field, though, so I think the third base may become the new point of contention here for QXC in a moment.
Yeah, sorry for the keyboard retard moment there, guys. Just trying to remember what hotkeys are with.
So one thing Rhett is doing is going up to lair very quickly. This is probably going to trigger some type of Spire play out of him. Not a whole lot back at home just yet for QXC in the terms of anti-air, but he is going for stim. He is going to be probably transitioning into bio eventually, but has not thrown down those barracks yet. Opted instead for the command center in that third position there. So he's going to be opting to do a lot of damage here, Rifkin.
Yeah, the Hellion Banshee combination's a really nice one. It's not been seen for quite some time, but unfortunately, there's just so many darn queens on the field. These Banshees will be chased off pretty quickly.
Cloak's not finished yet, so he can't, you know, Rhett does have an Overseer on the field, so another big benefit of going for that early lair is he's going to be able to scout out a Banshee if it does Cloak.
With all of these Hellions and 2 Banshees, he's going to be able to take on these queens head on. It will be a non-issue. Oh god, there's so many Hellions here, Doom. There's just so many Hellions.
Splash damage keeping those queens clumped up can really not, you know, make that other thing. But it is going to get us around here potentially. A lot of Lings frying, Rifkin.
Yeah, but unfortunately the surface area is just not in the favor here of QXC and is forced to back out of there.
Yeah, no Banshees. Where did the Banshees go?
They've been hovering around because the queens are so... It's ridiculous. The queens have such good damage attached to them. The Banshees can't really push in. They're kind of fragile in that regard. But alright, QXC going to find his way here into the natural. More Lings to flood on in. It's a suicide mission, but he'll get a lot of kills with these. Actually, maybe not. They were also weak. He got taken out really quickly by those Lings.
Yeah, nothing's going to happen with those Hellions, and once again, we can attribute this to Rhett's amazing creep spread. He sees every single attack that's coming in from all angles, and when you don't have that as a Zerg player, you feel much less comfortable as you would when you can see it. I mean, look how Rhett's doing now. He's taking the 4th base. His Spire's about to finish up. He's got his +1/+1 about to finish up. Everything is going well for him in this game. Even adding on a macro hatch in the main.
And confirming no 3rd base for those Lings. I mean, he's had the Overlord here for some time, but of course, actually seeing that there's nothing there. Lings are killed off, but of course they're just Zerglings, so not the biggest deal in the world. Resources lost.
Getting real word for QXC. Rifkin, no missile turrets up in the main base. Barracks are just now adding on reactors. No Mutalisks in production. Okay, first 5 just on the way here for Rhett.
Yeah, QXC perhaps going to get caught in the trap of mech when he finds out he doesn't have much anti-air.
It happens. You just get pigeonholed, focusing just so hard on trying to make these Hellions work, trying to make the Banshees work, that you forget completely that Mutalisks are going to come out. But okay, now he recognizes it. That is the time to throw some missile turrets. Got them going on the main base. So we'll have to see if Rhett makes enough to really deflect against that. But I like that he's continued to use this Banshee at the 4th base, trying to take down this hatchery.
You know, even if he doesn't kill this off outright with his Banshee, it will get really darn low, so he'll be able to come in for another hit later. Meanwhile, Mutalisks are not, in fact, engaging on top of the Banshees or the Hellions here in the middle of the map, but just trying to deal with that one Banshee, chipping away at the 4th, and they can't even see it.
Oh no. And QXC's continue to limit the creep spread of Rhett. He recognizes that this is a major issue for him in the game, and smooth moves here from QXC, maintaining even supply with Rhett up to this point.
God, he's had to burn 3 scans. This is the advantage of the way Rhett spreads his creep. He's got so many tumors on the field.
And he's just going to replace them all in just a moment anyway.
Okay, Spore Crawler coming down here at the 4th base, making sure no more Cloak shenanigans will catch him off guard again. QXC, of course, now getting his Bioforces on the field. Like you said, was getting on those reactors before was the big reason we didn't have Marines on the field, but we finally have boots on the ground, so to speak. Widowmine's underground, and he's going to be able to start poking a little bit more effectively with these Marines.
Another good thing QXC's doing here with his Banshees is just scouting out, making sure there's no hidden bases anywhere. Nothing going to be catching him off guard. Give Rhett a even greater advantage in the game here, but composition alone, I think Rhett's in a big lead here, Rifkin, but Widowmine's missed.
Oh, here come the Banelings. He's not spread. He doesn't see them coming through the bushes. And QXC loses everything. Bailing speed now finishing up, and of course he can spread here at the top of the ramp. Will he's going to be the big question.
Widowmine's top road. One Mulus is going to fall. Rogue Widowmine shot. But things are going great for Red here, Rifkin. He's got that 4th base up and running. He knows that QXC is pinned to only 3 bases with that Overlord that's preventing dropping creep spread on the 4th base. His upgrades +2/+2 is about to finish up. Just now starting flyer attacks level 2 as well. Just hitting the deck and running, man. Hitting the stride, yeah. Stride gum.
QXC. Shut up, Doom. We do have 2-2 at least finished for QXC. Not quite on his way to 3-3 yet, but here come the Mutalisk flock into the main, and there's 1 turret, Doom. This is not going to be enough to shut this down.
And yeah, Mutalisk flock. It is a murder of Mutalisks right now, destroying SCVs. Jump parked over top of that barracks infrastructure.
Really unfortunate too. I mean, the SCV's evacuated, so at least that minimized losses in that regard, but dealing with these Mutalisks is not fun. The mobility of them, the harshness of them. We got Marines on the other side waiting, gonna pick off a couple more, but sadly, like you said, this is a giant flock of Mutalisks.
One Banshee making himself effective, taking down a Refiner over here, forcing a Spore Crawler uproot.
Yeah, kind of in an interesting sweet spot, not in range there. Marines in the middle of the map, though, gonna engage top of the Mutalisks again, gonna just kind of get chipped away. Here comes a nice Widowmine hit. Yeah, there we go. But there's a lot of Banelings coming out of Ret once again.
Yeah, he's in complete control, at least of his area of the map. Once again, awesome creep spread and really great vision. Entire field.
God, that's so many Banelings. He's already got like 20 on the field, and another 26 coming in. This is gonna be 56 Banelings, guys. This is gonna be that Hyun level of too many Banelings to deal with, and QXC is not even gonna have the appropriate Marine count. He's so busy dealing with the Mutalisks dancing in and out of the main. Oh god, oh god.
This is just crazy frustrating for QXC right now. He's trying to filter in more units, but he just doesn't have them all in the same concerted clump to really do the DPS he needs. But he is going to deflect them out of there.
This is so many Banelings.
Yeah, they're just like dancing around each other. They look like honeybees like, vibrating in a pack.
Dude, Rhett, if you make 100 plus Banelings, you're going down in the Hall of Fame, my friend, even if you lose the game. This is so many Banelings. But of course, the downside is these are those one-hit wonder units, so he's going to use them effectively, but he's not going to have them for round 2. And if he gets, if Widowmine hits go off, if I don't know, QXC can manage to just somehow dodge a lot of these Banelings, he'll have shut them down just in the fact that they can't be used again. But it's going to be hard. Liquid Red, with so many Banelings on the field, can just kind of A move, lose about half of them, and still have more than enough to clean up what QXC has on the field.
Yeah. You know, army supplies are relatively even here, so let's not count out QXC yet. He does have some of the best control in NA. A lot of Widowmines going to go down, but again, those Overseers are in there.
Oh, God. So many Widowmines connecting to everything right now. Marauders, of course, on the front lines, going to try and stoke some of these hits, but Widowmine's going to burrow, but they're not going to get a chance to go off, and QXC just wondering when the Banelings will end.
Never.
Good game. Rhett ties the series up 3-3. Liquid is back in this, ladies and gentlemen.
Awesome. Very awesome. So so complexity now. A little bit force on the back foot. All that work the STC done erased by a dominating performance here. Liquid Red. Curious to see who will be next, Rifkin. Is it going to be Major?
I don't know. Like again, they've got him on roster for the Joker, but that might not be a go-to. It would be, you know, if your plans are to resurrect the STC in the finals, sending out Major would be a little bit of a interesting choice because you don't want a Terran Pro ready and waiting for someone like the STC. But guys, we are going to take this time to run some more ads between games. Again, you don't miss anything. There's a lot of downtime between these games, so please and thank you for watching our ads. We'll be back very shortly.